reunion episode. I don't know if you want to kick this off, give a highlight of to the people who maybe didn't watch.
Well, my favorite part was Candace getting called out for the way that she speaks to people and the way that she handles and goes from one extreme to the other. I could relate, but the way that she acts is like ferocious. And it's not, you're given a platform and it's just showing your insecurities. I feel the way she spoke about Mia, referring to her body and talking about,
And her mother, most of all.
yeah,
Like,
that's
bringing up her
fucked up.
mother. And I'm sorry, but for Candace to say she wasn't privy or aware of the Your Mama thing, whatever, yes, she was, girl. Like, a lot of, you see in the episode, they're trying to tell her, and she's like, no, I don't care. I don't care. Like,
But
for
my thing
anyone,
is, you're 30 years old. Who still makes your mama jokes? Like, come on.
but yeah, she's a, what is it that she called herself? She's
She likes she likes to orate.
orate. She's an orator. But yet, you orate straight to your mama, like, you're whack.
Yeah.
And for anyone who may watch The Housewives and know about Potomac, Candace is the same bitch who got clocked, allegedly. Because I love what Andy Cohen said during the reunion, too, where he's like, well, I don't know if you caught that, Melanie, where he was like, well,
How's
didn't
that
you
going for
almost
you?
get... Like, he didn't acknowledge that she got hit. He basically used choice of words, but then she corrected him like, I got assaulted. So it goes to show that Andy's kind of half there, although a lot of people do say, and even out of Monique's mouth, that she and her husband, her family felt production, including Andy Cohen, didn't treat her that well last year during the reunion, which is why she decided not to come back, although she had been asked to come back. But listen, you and I last year got into it a lot through voice
Sure
text
did.
over
I
this
was
whole
not.
situation with Monique and
Listen,
Candace.
I was not for Candace.
Our friendship
but
was being tested because of fucking Housewives.
we sure were. But my thing was, I wasn't really happy with the way that Monique, I don't think that anyone should get physical. That's a lot coming from me. Jesus Christ. But I just feel like you guys have a discussion. If you have a discussion that gets heated, like the way Giselle and Karen can have a discussion and say like insulting things to each other, but you shouldn't get physical and you shouldn't put your hand in anyone's face and expect something not to happen to you. Now with Candace, she was saying some messed up things, but I think Monique took it a little farther with the whole lawsuit. Was she the first one?
No, they both.
Just...
No. Candace took out a lawsuit.
Well, if someone assaults
both.
me, you don't think I'm going to try to sue them? I would.
Listen, I technically could have sued someone, and you know what I'm talking about.
Oh,
I
yeah.
technically could have sued someone, and it's going to cost to get that done. So I technically could have done the same thing, but I didn't. Stupid me, because a few weeks ago I was thinking like, damn, I should have.
Nah.
But
It's
anyway,
a waste. Emotionally and financially, it's a waste and a burden.
Yeah. But anyways, getting back on track, Candace is the same chick that got clacked in in last season. So here we are this new season, and yet she's still crazy out the mouth. But moving on from Candace, another big thing. Oh, did you catch? Speaking of, still tying in Monique from last season, Daddy Andy Cohen kind of called out Miss Wendy Osefo, when she brought her little
manila envelope, or no,
text.
it was like a little
billboard. You know those cheap billboards that you get made. He was like, we went from the binder to this. I was like, whoa, this is why I love Daddy Andy. This is why I love him, because he is me. He comes through sometimes. Sometimes I feel he doesn't take some housewives to task, but he does sometimes. And I'm like, yes, Daddy. Yes, call her out.
I think he says a lot of things that we're thinking at the moment. Too, because it's like, girl, you brought like a screen grab of what you guys were talking about. You should have just brought a binder. And it's hypocritical of Wendy to talk crap about. And she was talking shit about Monique last season about her bringing a binder. So it's like, now you want to bring receipts? Do you see why receipts are needed in reunions?
And then your receipts that you're bringing is a dumbass billboard. Like,
that
now
didn't really amount to anything.
listen, everyone's always trying to do something crazy at a reunion and bring something like shocking. Monique, I'm sorry, like, well, prior to Monique, there was other housewives that have done shocking things like this. Kenya back in the day from
Kenya
Atlanta with the
Lutter
bullhorn and
and
the
her
scepter, the
yeah.
scepter. So there's been in different franchises, different women trying to do things to, impress the producers, impress Andy who fucking runs it. But some fail horribly. And you could tell some who are trying, and it's like, let that shit go organically. Like, you're trying, and it's like, Wendy, you could tell that you were trying. Like, you were
You know
trying.
what I think, and I'm sure we'll touch topics with this later on. I feel like a lot of the housewives and all throughout the franchises that are going on right now, airing right now, there's a pattern. Everyone who's been the underdog and hasn't really had a storyline is trying very hard to create a storyline. Wendy, with her whole Eddie cheating scandal, Mary from Salt Lake City, she's trying to hold on to that snowflake for dear life.
We'll definitely touch on Salt Lake City too. Now,
Lisa Rinna.
well, anyways, we're not going to spoil what's going on this season on Potomac, but she definitely has storylines this year because of her, family. But hey, her family is an extension from her. But anyways, we will get to Beverly Hills later on in the show. But another big thing this episode of the Potomac reunion, I don't know if there's any Nicki Minaj fans out there, but Nicki Minaj, any Barbs, yes. Nicki Minaj this summer basically made waves when she said she would love to host a reunion. Now, no one ever has hosted a reunion besides Andy. So the fact that it was thrown to the universe, listen, people, you see, throw your shit out to the universe and it could happen. Just like I always knew I would be like a Carson Daly TRL one day. Throw it out there. Believe it and make it come true. But we have Nicki Minaj and she showed up to host. Now, what did you think of this? This is so different. So there's a lot to
I loved it because now you have someone who's a fan but also has a platform of her army or whatever, the Barbs. They basically gave her questions to ask. When she came off, the first few minutes, she just went in on Ashley. And
I was Hot Wheels.
Yes. I was living for it.
Should have been Candace first, but
no, it should be Ashley. Ashley's not getting a pass just because she got a kid. Just because she popped a kid. No. I don't think she doesn't have a storyline. What's her storyline?
Okay, let me remind you that.
Darby.
Let me remind you that for at least 2 seasons, Ashley carried. I don't want to say on her back. There was other people that had things going on. But what are we right now? Season 5, right? Season 6, 5?
6.
Of Potomac? 6. So for season 4 and 3, Ashley was carrying because of the Michael situation.
Because of her husband.
Again, it's an extension. Just like we just said with Lisa Rinna coming up. It's an extension of
whoever. A homosexual.
Listen, yesterday, Melanie, watching the episode, something was brought up, and I truly feel, allegedly, because we don't want to get sued here, I truly feel Ashley and Michael went into that relationship. First of all, she's seen dollar signs in Michael. She has admitted she's bisexual. I personally think they both had a dialogue, but she hasn't shared it on Potomac and out like that. That she knows what's up with him, dipping in the male pond, and obviously he knows what's up with her with women. But I personally think they both know of each other and their bisexuality.
Well,
there was something yesterday about the reunion that made me think of that and made me think, who knows? I just feel like they already know this, and she knows about his bisexuality.
Okay, if you're gonna be like that, be transparent. Don't be all up in other people.
She's transparent about her sexuality. Maybe she doesn't want to share his. It's harder for a man. Let's be real. Let's be real.
He's already said it. I want to suck Juan's dick.
Yeah, but let's be real. It's harder.
Slap people's butts.
It's harder for a man to out there freely say, I'm bisexual, and be received well. Where a girl screams, I'm bisexual, it's like, woohoo! Everyone's up in it. The guys think it's hot, and then the girls is like, oh, she's cute. it's easier for girls to throw out there about their bisexuality, their sexuality, or their fluidness versus a man admitting it. Let's be real.
That's true. And actually, the new season of the Real Housewives of Orange County, one of them, I think she's the newest housewife. She's bisexual, and that's
Noella.
part of her. Noella.
She's
very
definitely
pretty.
she's beautiful. And again, I don't watch OC, and she's definitely gonna be representing for. She's the first. She's dubbing herself on her bio the first cast member of OC that's of color. She's definitely waving her black flag up there, and I'm happy to see this because OC definitely needed like as well flavor.
Yeah, the blondes and big boobs.
All the franchises need some
She's
flavor.
not the first person of color though. The first person of color in the OC, yes. The first season was Joe De La Rosa.
She's Peruvian. Yep, Peruvian.
Yeah, and we read Andy Cohen's book. Well, not his book, but Not All Diamonds and Rose. Basically, it was Joe De La Rosa. So I mean, she can say that.
You're kind of right about yeah. You're right. You're right.
I did my research.
Fact check. But back to Nicki Minaj, like she really came through. And again, she came out. They of course aired it the last 5 minutes of the show, so they definitely want to rope you in for part 4, which airs this upcoming Sunday. If you watch it, make sure to tweet to Andy and Bravo that we sent you guys. You know what I mean? You never know what that could do for us. But so what are you looking forward to for next episode, the last episode of the season 4 part reunion, which that does not happen a lot. If you are a Real Housewives fan, you know it's usually like a 2-3 part reunion. So when you get 4, it's major. And Atlanta was the first one to ever do 4 parts. But what do you think? What are you looking forward to next week?
I'm looking forward to Indiana Minaj annihilating everybody and asking them the hard hitting questions that
I heard she does too.
Andy can't get away with asking. I think in one of the questions coming up, she asked Giselle and Robin, like, are you guys lovers? Like, you guys both have man issues, but you guys are up each other's asses. Like what's going on there? So Andy can't ask something like that. So I think it's great that Nicki Minaj is going to ask. I'm excited. I can't wait.
Listen, if this is the opening, I have my love-hate relationship with Miss Minaj, but if this is the like Pandora's box opening for the future, for other people to like potentially dip in and host like that and do that, what she's doing, thank you, Nicki, because I have hope.
I will say I'm not a Barb like that, but I like some of her bops. I like some of her collaborations, but I will say she was the perfect like artist to ask to come on and be the host. I don't see anyone else doing it, like having the balls to do it. I think that the next person that should do it would be, I don't know, Lizzo or Leslie. What's her name?
Grossman. Leslie Grossman.
No.
Grossman.
Leslie Grossman is great, but she would do something like New York. But I mean, for like Atlanta, for like Potomac, it would have to be one of color, because we need to, obviously, I don't see a white girl trying to ask questions and get down to the nitty gritty. But yeah, I'm excited. I can't wait. Forget Thanksgiving. I'm thinking about Sunday.
Yes, well, Sunday, and I know you don't really care too much for this, but Sunday also is the premiere of Portia's
Family Matters.
Family Matters, yes. She has her own spinoff. As we know, Portia announced that she was not returning to Atlanta this upcoming season. Many people have their opinions of why, but hey, when you're highly favored and blessed, you have options. And that's the good thing about having options. A lot of these bitches do, and Andy Cohen said it in that book that we both read. A lot of people try to say, oh, I don't want my own spinoff. I'll go with it. Everyone wants their own spinoff, as he said. Everyone wants their own spinoff.
I love Portia. I just feel like the last season of Atlanta, she left a sour taste in my mouth. Well, and then like what ensued after. But that's for another day.
But why did she leave? Because of the Bolo situation? I know a lot of people who don't watch Housewives, but they knew about Bolo.
I feel like she was very disengaged in the whole season. She wasn't trying to speak. She wasn't really trying to like. I don't know. She wasn't trying to really interact. If you notice.
And listen, we're not discussing Atlanta like in detail today like that, but I will tell you why. And I will say this. I will say it now. That's a bitch who carried the last few seasons of Atlanta on
She
her
was
back.
tired.
On her back. Like, on her back, whether it was because of something she did or whatever, but like, there's a few seasons that I could go through them where like she was the main focus, good or bad. So it comes to a point where it's like, no, like let you other motherfuckers do the work. It's an ensemble cast. Yeah, do stuff that does not include me or rope me in. Find a storyline. So I get it. And I still stand by my girl Portia. So I'm excited for that. But let's